University for me. UNA University for me. UNA, 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 UNA. University for me. UNA, paradise all your life. University, all your dreams. Land is home on your own. Every day, long way. University for me. Welcome everybody. UNA University for me. UNA, paradise all your life. University, all your dreams. Land is home on your own. Every day, long way. University for me. Screen up. Let me fix it. Let me fix my screen. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Let's see. All right, fix it. I want to welcome everybody. I'm yours truly, Diva Laree with UNA University and UNA Republic. Welcome. Hello. Oh, I hope y'all doing well on this Sunday evening. This is Diva coming back from working out. I am successful in working out. All right, I want to welcome everybody. We're going to go over some things this evening. I want to go into a little bit of history. Okay, now, whenever I do these history topics, I have to be very careful because I get people who get upset with me because these topics are very heavy. I got a new setup. I got to fix my rig properly because I got my new setup here. All right. So I'm trying to get myself right. Now, my people over in YouTube, hello. So I don't have all of my apparatuses today. I got a new rig. I got some new stuff going on. Hello, Lord Progress. Yes, you are progressive. Many praises to you too. I want to welcome everybody in. Okay, so we're getting into some history today. Before I go into history, I want to just make sure I point out, remember you can get the UNA Beginner Law Book, all righty? UNA Beginner Law Book. You can get this on unauniversity.com. You can also find the link in the bio. Okay, we got a link tree with all kind of goodies on there. So find the link in the bio for the UNA Law Book. All right. I also want to remind you about the Fifth Dimensional Woman Tour. All right. Find the link in the bio to my people on YouTube. You're going to find that link. You can go to UNA University and find the link for the Fifth Dimensional Woman Tour. We're talking about our sisters and making sure they have the knowledge that has been hidden from us. All right, the esoteric information. And my brothers, you are absolutely welcome. All right, this is about the sisters because I got to get to her. But brothers, you are absolutely welcome. All right, tell your sister, tell your wife. I told y'all whenever I talk about these topics, what ends up happening is that people will tell me the fact that they have learned it has helped them with their relationship. I don't deal with relationships, I just deal with facts, okay? And once you know the facts and you know how to govern yourself accordingly, it's going to permeate your entire life. So, again, everybody's welcome. But I'm making sure it's clear that we're talking to the sister because there's a lot of things she hasn't been told that she needs to know. All right, Beginner Law Book. You all can find this link in the bio. There is the ebook and there is actually the physical copy, which is what you're looking at now. That this physical copy comes with a laminated copy of the Hierarchy of Laws, a laminated copy of the Universal Laws, and a laminated copy of the Vibratory Frequency Chart. Why are we giving you laminated? Because we want you to put them up, put them on your wall, put them on your refrigerator, put them all around your house because we want this to become a part of you. All right, so this is the UNA Beginner Law Book. So that is for you. One more thing. I had a lot of people asking about the trust. All right. The trust package that comes with your membership. You can find this under UNA membership. All right. You can go and sign up for this. They're 179. 179. These are sealed trust documents. And if you understand what a trust is, I call this my get out of jail free card. That don't mean you can do dirt. It does not mean you can do dirt and get away with it. Okay. But this will keep the agents off your back if they're coming at you. Now, it comes with your trust package, your trust documents. It comes with your membership badge as well as your allodial ID. Okay. This is going to have a QR code. You can have quick access to all of your documents that are on record because we keep them on record with UNA. And then this will have your, this deals with your spiritual, all right? Your spiritual you. All right. This one deals with your corporation because this helps a lot of my students or my clients and members. Our members that were having problems, in particular with the jab, they presented this card and their job had to back off. Very powerful instruments and tools that come with this. We also have information on how you use them and what you need to do to make sure you finish this process. But this is your trust process, and it is a membership package. You'll find that link in the bio. My people who are on YouTube, find the link tree. All right, UNA has a link tree. Find that link tree, and you're going to find it in the bio. Thank you so much, Kent, for sharing the live. Felicia, follow. Thank you so much. Y'all like and share and follow and love and tell somebody and subscribe and leave comments, all that good stuff. All right, so now what I want to do is get into some history. So today we had a history class. Don't forget, UNA, we're in our enrollment process for next season. All right. So if you didn't enroll this season for summer, come back next season for fall. It's going to start October 15th, somewhere around there, October 15th, 16th. All right. So you want to be a part of the university. This is a real university. Okay. We got classes and you need to be in a class. Not a 10-minute, 20-minute. So if you don't have the time to commit, just understand, I told y'all you're going to pay. Either you're going to pay attention or you're going to pay with a whole bunch of Federal Reserve notes or you're going to pay with some blood, sweat, and tears, but you're going to pay. So I encourage you to come and be a part of the university because, you know, we're getting into this esoteric information that is hidden from us, making sure you have full understanding of who you are. Now, I've had a lot of people with that, and then I'm gonna get into the session. They'll say, "Hey, Diva, I had somebody to create my trust, and I'm still a slave." Well, yes, you're still going to be a slave if you don't have knowledge of what you're doing. If you don't have knowledge of the documents that are filed, if you don't have knowledge of how to use them, it's like having a big, powerful weapon and you don't know how to take the safety off. Well, that's not going to do you any good, okay? So, this is why we encourage you to come into the university so that we can absolutely teach you how to stand, what these documents are, where you're filing them, why you're filing them, who you are with respect to this system. You got to get that. That's why we look. That's why we gave you the beginner law book. You got to get these laws in you so that you know how to stand and walk when somebody comes at you, regardless of who they are. Tapping the truth says for free. Tapping the truth. If I told you it was for free, you know that's not the truth. Nothing is for free. Well, you got the information for free, Diva. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I didn't pay Federal Reserve notes for it, but I had to pay attention. And I'm telling you, I paid a lot of attention. But we give you all, listen, when I come on here and do these sessions, I'm constantly giving remedy. If you listen, education is, Felicia, education is not for free. To all y'all who think stuff is for free, she said put in the work. What you think? What you think putting in the work is? That's payment. You have to pay. So either you're gonna pay attention, like, or you're gonna pay with blood, sweat, and tears, which you're talking about putting in the work, or you're gonna pay with some Federal Reserve notes, but you're always gonna pay. It doesn't matter what level you are on. Are you on a molecular level? Because on a molecular level, I need you to understand stuff that's going on. Every cell within you has the same thing going on within it that's going on out here. They got trash man. They got a post office. They got a translations. They got a government. You better know everything that's going on out in this dimension is going on within every cell in your vessel. And so when I say you got to pay, oh, you're going to pay. So whether you pay attention because you got to put in the energy to know what's going on, or you're going to pay with some Federal Reserve notes when you get in trouble. But you're going to pay. So please understand that. And somebody says it's hard work. Yeah, to learn and understand what's going on, you got to be willing to put the time in. So no, it's not free. You're gonna pay. And this is what I found, so that y'all understand this, because I've been doing this for quite some time. But what I found is that the people who always, well, it's not free. What the people who I've allowed to come into my session for free, they're the ones who cause the most havoc. But the people who have paid, they honor the information. They honor the information and they use it because they know, oh, I made an investment. This is serious to me. What they call it, skin in the game. If they don't put skin in the game, they don't respect it. So that's just what Diva Marie has found. Now, if you found something different, that's fine. I'm just letting you know, yes, you got to pay for the products because what I found is that people don't respect things that they don't pay for, period. And please believe me, you're not getting no free education. You're not getting free education. You might not have to pay Federal Reserve notes, especially if you went to somebody's school. You had to give them a social security number. Oh, you paid. Okay, you paid. So I need you to understand anything we do in this dimension, you've got to pay for. And there are three forms that I've expressed of payment. Now, I need to get into this history. And I hope y'all gonna pay attention. Pay attention because these are some things that aren't told to us. Now, I can't go deep because last time I went deep in on this topic, uh, they banned me on TikTok and all this kind of issues or what have you. But I'm going to go into some history as deep as I can without getting flagged. All right. So now let's get into this. I want to go into a little bit of history. By the way, I was talking about the UNA University. We had a history class today. All right. So we do go very deep into history. And if you really want to know the truth about what's going on and the deep things that I can't get into here, join the university. Be ready to enroll. You can find the enrollment for the university in the bio. You can go in there and then you can actually set up an appointment so that we can give you a hey, watch this, a free consultation. What? A free consultation. Now that is free. That's about as free as you can get. Okay, so that's a very powerful consultation that you're going to get. So if you want that consultation, go and check the link in the bio so that you can enroll. My people on TikTok, YouTube, find the UNA Republic link tree. All right, let's get in on this. Okay, now, history. I want y'all to understand something. It's not just light-skinned people that are lying to you. Okay, it's not just light-skinned people that are lying to you and are keeping you from the truth. Okay, so now I want to go into uh, basically who we are, who's who. That's what I titled this. The title of this session is called Who's Who. Now, I've talked to you all about who the on the SF 181 form. Okay, on this SF 181 form, which is the ethnicity and race document, I've talked to you about who the black people were and the fact that black originally had nothing to do with dark skin and the fact that white had nothing to do with light skin. Black and white are statuses. They're statuses. They have nothing to do with skin color, but one of the things that you have been made to believe is that, oh, black is dark skinned people and white is light skinned people, and that is not the case. So, y'all melanated people, when y'all going around talking about uh, Black Lives Matter, you got to understand what that term means. Black means dead at law. Black means you have no voice. Black means you have no legal standing. Black means that you are an orphan to the state and they're going to treat you like such. So I know, we've been made, oh, Black Lives Matter. Well, please, somebody go and do some research. Hello, JJ. Go and do some research. Who's actually running that whole organization? Well, they're not melanated. Neither are the people who own the NAACP. The same people who fund the NAACP. I'm going too deep. I'm sorry. Let me back up. I'm sorry. Y'all got to come into class because I don't want to get banned again for telling the facts. But now you understand. No, Pablo said, "No, you good? No, nah, because I already been there. I start telling the truth. I tell too much truth, I'm gonna get kicked out. Next thing you know, it's gonna say, "Oh, you have been banned again." Okay, no, we're not going through that. Y'all got to come into the university. But let me go into this so that we understand some things. The reason why I brought up the ethnicity form is because when we're looking at the term white, every group, there's only three groups in the term white, they're all concerning melanated people. So when we say the first group is the original peoples of Europe, I need y'all to understand something. Those were melanated people. The original peoples of Europe were melanated. Why they say the original? See, y'all watch this now. Y'all see the term Indo-European? What's this term Indo-European? What is that? Well, they call them Indo because they put that prefix on there to recognize, oh, these are light-skinned Europeans, but the original Europeans were dark-skinned. We're talking about people of Tunis, Algiers, Tripoli, Montezuma. These are people who were, some of them were coming over as rulers, royalty, owners of land. That's what that meant. There's other things that it meant, but I'm not going into that because then I get blocked. So what I need y'all to understand is that that first group, the original peoples of Europe, and also understand that Europe was named after a melanated woman, Queen Europa. Okay, those are melanated people they were talking about when they say white. The second group, people of the Middle East. People of the Middle East. Talking about you talking about over there with Saudi Arabia and the original people of Israel and the Philistines and all. Those are melanated people. You talking about where the 12 tribes of Israel came from? Those are melanated people. Even to this day, they're still melanated. Okay. Third group, the people of North Africa. What you talking about? Morocco? Morocco. And all this other. What happened to South Africa? We're not going to get into that. But they said the people of North Africa. So all three of those groups, those are melanated people. So once again, I'm bringing this up because we got to understand who's who. This is not separatist. This is not some kind of individualizing. You got to know who's who. If you're talking about, see, I get people coming at me all the time. Well, you can't be separatist because we're trying to all come together. You not understanding why we haven't come together as of now. They've been saying that before Diva Marie was born. We got to come together as a race of people. Well, the problem is we are not all the same race. All your skin folk ain't kinfolk. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. So what I'm saying to you is you got to recognize we fighting on a different level now. You fighting on a molecular level on the inside of you because you mix with these dark skinned people and these dark skinned people, and some of y'all mix with these light skinned people. We got to understand who's who because there's a fight going on within you. There's a fight going on within you. And once you can understand the fight going on within you, then let's recognize that there's a battle going on with those who are outside of you. And just because they look like you does not mean they are for you. And so I need to make this clear about these white people that were coming into the Americas. There was another dark-skinned people, because let me rephrase that because somebody gonna get confused of what I just said. White, we talk about these white people, they were actually dark-skinned. These white people, they were actually dark-skinned coming into the Americas. All right. And so when they came into the Americas, there was another dark skinned people already here. Original people of the land is what I call them. The original people of the land, so called Indians, were already here. They were dark skinned. Let's talk about the Washita MUURs. We are not talking about that term MOOR at all. We're talking about the Washita Moors MUURS who came from the land of Mu or Lemuria. Those dark skinned people. They were already here in the land. So what happens is you get these Moors coming into the land, dark skinned people, and then they mistreat the Indians who were already in the land. All right. Who were these people? We're talking about the Barbary countries. Who were the Barbary countries? Tunis, Algiers, Tripoli, Britain, Morocco. All right. So I'm saying what we have to understand is these were melanated people doing business in the US that came from another place. So if you don't understand that, look up the Barbary Treaties and understand who the Barbary countries were. Well, let's understand who owned the Barbary Company. That was Britain. So Britain comes in and they're doing business already with the Barbary countries, which were those named Tunis, Algiers, Tripoli, Montezuma, Morocco. And so because Britain was really leading this thing, Britain was the one who was doing all of the setup in what we know of as North America. They're the ones who started those colonies. But you got to understand there were other governments going on in the Americas, other governments which include the county. I need y'all to understand something. There's a difference between county, federal, city, state. There's a difference between them. County is the highest on the private side. County is the highest on the private side. This is why we as sovereigns, this is where we do business on the private side with the county. State deals with the British Corporation, United States Corporation. That's what state deals with. That doesn't deal with anything private. That deals with a foreign entity called the United States, not to be confused with the United States of America. If you're not aware of the difference, please find us on UNA Republic on YouTube. Find us at UNA Republic on YouTube so that you can understand. Find that the session I did about the difference between the United States versus the United States of America. All right. You got the state in here. You got the county. These are two. The Moors are the ones who set up the counties. Counties mean to count things. We're counting those who say they own this. If you own this, we're keeping an account of it. You own that, we're keeping an account of it. All right. Whereas state here is dealing with state of Texas, state of this, state of that. That's owned by the private corporation. And then there's city and federal. Federal, a lot of us sovereigns, we'll do business on the federal level because there's a high level of protection there. But once again, it's not to be confused with the state up here. All right. So you got these different organizations, corporations, let me say it like this, these different governments, but y'all need to understand the state is not a government. It's a private entity. Thank y'all for joining me on YouTube. Please make sure you like and share and subscribe. Yeah, right here, state is a private entity, meaning, let me make this clear. They're not a government. They're operating privately and pretending to be a government. Y'all ever hear them say, "Oh, we're under colorable law"? Pay attention. Now I'm saying to you, pay attention. Colorable law means fake. It means kind of like, but not really. Sort of, but not quite. It means fake. It is not what it appears to be. That's what colorable means. That's why I tell y'all, you know, they were taking on this term colored people. Originally, that meant fake people. There are people who were considered to be fake. We're not going to talk about them right now because, you know, they might cut me out, say I'm doing hate speech when I'm just telling the facts. All right. So let me carry on, and I want y'all to ask me questions, make comments. I love it. Talk to me. Tell me what your thoughts are. So we've got this situation where who created the United States of America? Those were Moors. Moors. Now, I need y'all to understand all Moors were not necessarily dark skinned. Thing to do with skin color, it had to do with those who sailed, sailors. So there were a group of what I call elite Moors. that came into the Americas, and they established a government as the United States of America. That was the original government in 1777. Now, I need y'all to understand these people were not necessarily working with Britain or Morocco or Tunis, Algiers. They wanted to be separate from these other entities purposely. They wanted to separate from that. And when you hear people talking about, oh, the Constitution is based on the Bible, this is a Christian country. No, it's not. And no, it wasn't created under any kind of Christian principles. And then you hear these other people, oh, the Bible, the Constitution created off of Muslim and Islam, and no, it wasn't. When it was created, first of all, I've told you all, get the Iroquois Confederacy. Iroquois Confederacy. Don't ask me to spell it. Iroquois. Yes. Iroquois Confederacy. I want y'all to go look it up, right? Because that is the document that the Constitution that was created in 1777 was based off of. All right. Now, those elite Moors that I talked about, they were purposely in here warning that would not persecute you for your religious beliefs. That was the main principle of this Constitution. We want to be free from being persecuted for our religious beliefs. Now, remember, Christopher Columbus, he left Spain. He converted to Christianity because he was about to get kicked out because he was either a Muslim or a Jew. Now, whenever I do my research, I find both of these. I don't know which one is which right now. But regardless of which one he was, it's saying it has to be that he came from somebody melanated. Columbus couldn't have been Albion, Muslim or Islam, a Muslim or a Jew. Okay, so at any rate, his purpose for searching for another land is because he wanted to have a place where his people could go and not be persecuted for their religious beliefs. All right. And so the people who came after him, these elite Moors, they were part of that group. And when they set up the United States of America, after dealing with Britain and all of the rulings and the things that they were doing, the tyrannical practices of Britain, they said, okay, we need to set up these counties, and we need to establish a declaration of independence. We're making ourselves independent from Britain. Britain, you can't rule in this land anymore. All right. So once they did that, then you got to understand that was considered a hostile takeover, because you got to recognize that these colonies in Britain, these are considered to be companies. Y'all look up the Virginia Company. It was started in the 1500s. That is the same company you know of today as the state of Virginia. It's a company. So when these elite Moors are kicking Britain out, because Britain was making a lot of money off of these companies. So when we're talking about the company, we're talking about the 13 colonies of Virginia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, and everything in between those. It was, hey, we making money. What you mean we don't rule here anymore? Well, that's why you got the Revolutionary War, because they were they were making all this tax money off of these companies, which is the state of this, the state of that. They're still making money off of them today. But they were making money off these companies, and then here you had these Moors, they were dark-skinned Moors running the United States of America in 1777, and they're kicking Britain out. This is a hostile takeover. So now this war comes. Now I want y'all to now see, I did all this preface at the beginning to help you understand. Hope y'all are y'all paying attention? Do you have pen and paper? Y'all have pen? Where's your paper? You got it? Okay. I need you to pay attention. I did all that preface because I'm helping you to understand what was going on and what's still going on today when we talk about who's who. Now, when Britain got kicked out, because the United States of America, those Moors that were running it, they kicked Britain's butt. And Britain had to remove themselves from the United States of America. However, they still, what they did was they sent in the dogs. Remember, I told you Britain had already established a relationship with Morocco before 1777, before, actually in the 1400s, they had established the Barbary Company. All right, so now you got the Barbary Company, and then you got Morocco, Tunis, Algiers, Tripoli. See, they were not going to step on the territory and tread on territory that Britain had established in the United States. They weren't going to do that. But once Britain got kicked out, then Britain says, okay, well, see, now I'm going to call in the dogs. So that's what they did. They called in Morocco and Tunis and all these Barbary companies. What are the Barbary companies? They were pirates. They were pirates and land stealing thieves. That's what they did. They went around taking people's land. And so Britain calls in Morocco in particular, Tunis, Algiers was with them, to come in and just take over the ports of the United States of America after Britain had gotten kicked out. Because they were like, well, uh, I had a treaty with these other countries, but you didn't have a treaty. So then Britain called them in to wreak havoc on the United States of America. All right. And so at this time, they're at war between 1777 going up into even, just before 1789, when George Washington, who was called the first president of the United States. All right. Now, I'm going to go into this. I'm letting you know that right now, Morocco and Britain had a relationship. They was in bed together. And Morocco was not going to tread on any territory that Britain was claiming. And so now, if you see a Moroccan flag flying next to a U.S. flag, and I need y'all to understand that is not an American flag, it is a U.S. flag, as in United States Corporation owned by Britain. You see these flags flying next to each other, you know that there's a relationship and somebody's trying to steal your land if you claim to be one of the original people of the land. These two people are to this day still trying to steal the land of the original people of the land. Now, U.S., and we're talking about Britain. Now, when y'all see Britain, y'all see, Albion woman, and y'all thinking, oh, they was all Albion. Let me help you understand something. All royalty was originally melanated. All royalty was originally melanated. Somebody missed it in the back of the room. Let me. All royalty was originally melanated. All royalty. So now, in recognizing and understanding that all royalty was originally melanated, when you look at Britain, please come out of the notion that these are Albions over here. They were melanated all the way up to the mid 1800s. The Queen of England was melanated all the way up to the mid 1800s. Yeah, we can go back to King, what is it? King James. This is a melanated guy. All right. Then you got Morocco. We know these were melanated peoples. And they were working together to steal the land from the original people of the land. the deal is that to this day, the original people of the land are still fast asleep. They haven't stepped up to show that they are owner of the land. But these two people are still battling. So let me help you understand something. When you go and buy a house, you're not buying land. You can't buy land because the people who are trying to sell it to you don't own it. What they're selling you is a deed so you could be a tenant on the property. Even if you pay it off, why you still have to pay taxes? Because you don't own the land. Okay, this is why you keep paying taxes to Britain, because they're leasing something to you. Then you got these group of people calling themselves Moors who are telling you that some kind of way this territory of North America belongs to Morocco. Listen to me and pay attention. Pay attention. Are you gonna pay later? When you start talking about, oh, this is Morocco and there is nothing anywhere documented anywhere to say this Morocco owned this place. This is a whole bunch of people who are making this up in their mind because once again, if you see them flying that flag next to Britain, you know who they're working with. I say this to you again, and I hope you hear me, and listen closely because Albions are not the only people lying to you. Who is Albions, Diva? What's my Albions? So-called white people. Those are not the only people lying to you. There are some melanated people that are lying to you, that are working with this group over here to make sure you stay in bondage. How come we got a group of people who've had all of this knowledge for so long, but have not made sure that that information got to the melanated people who now have no clue what the world was going on? Why? Why they know all these people still enslaved in bondage and all this? Why? Because the Albions are not the only people who are lying to you. All right. So now we're understanding some things. I want to go into this, getting back to the history. So you had this group of elite Moors running the United States of America. I need to get into what they did to the original people of the land. All right. Again, these elite Moors, yeah, they were dark skinned who were running the United States of America. And they were running it between 1777 and 1789. This is when George Washington comes into play. Now, during this time, they, first of all, let me help y'all understand something. I told y'all about Britain over here, right? The Britain had created treaties that they had created treaties between them and the original people, whereby the original people gave them permission to be in the land. Those treaties still stand to this day. All right. Now, at least these people over here, they actually wrote contracts with the original people. But I told y'all about these elite Moors. They didn't write any contracts with the original people, but they made verbal contracts with them. Well, we're brothers. We're good. We're in the land, and we were okay. But what happened is when that war broke out, or after that war broke out, and you got the original or the elite Moors had created the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. They had started to declare the original people as colored, black, Negro. All right, they had degraded their status. So it was these melanated elite Moors that had degraded the status of the original people of the land and giving them titles that were given to other people. So, and then they started enslaving the original people as well. All right. So now I'm letting you know something, that it was melanated people who came in here and enslaved the original people. When they say, oh, them Europeans came in here, see, what they're trying to do is keep you from recognizing who the real Europeans were. They weren't the Albion. The Albion today is Indo-European. Well, wait, no. It was the Europeans that came in here. Well, who were the original Europeans? Tunis, Algiers, Tripoli, Montezuma, Morocco, brown people. So they come in here and they degrade the status. They create. Keene says our own. Keene, the reason why I call this who's who, because you want to say our own just because they're the same color. They weren't your own. They were another race of people. Another group of brown people. So when you keep calling them our own and oh, we and them, no, wait a minute. Let's make sure we know who's who. They weren't ours. They were from somewhere else. They spoke another language. They had another religion. They weren't ours. Let me rephrase that. Because some of y'all feel like you're from Africa. If you're from Africa, then they're yours. But if you are the original people of this land, Hebrew was not your original language. See, when I go and I want to do my research on who's who, I want to know what they look like. I want to know what their religion was. I want to know what their religious practices were. I want to know what language they spoke. Those are going to give me a very good idea of who these people were. When the original people were here, they did not speak Hebrew. Somebody's asking who gave them the term Indian. What, they didn't give that term to themselves? Somebody else start calling them that. Even if you look at the title America, America, Ameri is a Hebrew term meaning copper colored. Ameri is a Hebrew term meaning copper colored. Ika means land of the indigenous people. So ICA or IKA means land of the indigenous people. America means land of the copper colored people. That is a Hebrew term. The original people weren't using that term. They had another name for the land. But here come these people, Tunis, Algiers, Tripoli, Montezuma, Muslims, and in the land, Hebrew speaking people. Okay, they creating these titles. So once again, I'm making it clear. The people who were coming in here originally and running these different governments were melanated. All right. And then they started to enslave the original people of the land. I would not say they was your own, because there was a group of people here and then there was a group of people that came from there. They were melanated and these people were melanated. They're two different groups of people. And let's understand something. When they came into the land, at first, the original people were kind. They were accepting and receptive of these other people. But then these other people started to become disrespectful and take over land and territories that didn't belong to them, or were not appropriated to them. They started lying and conniving, and then they started killing off the original people. And we have this documented. I love it when these people who are following the Moors bring up this George Washington's letter to the Sultan. I love to break it down. I can't break it down here because, again, I'm not trying to get flagged. Y'all got to come into the session, but I break it down and help you understand what really went on, what we really didn't see. And when we read that document, you just got some people who have presented to you, see, This thing tell you that Morocco owned it. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. And when you start reading these documents that are on record, Declaration of Independence, Constitution, uh, rights, the all of these indigenous rights documents, please read the Iroquois Confederacy. Read the treaties. I got a list of treaties that I've read all the way through. And if see, for me, I don't want to hear somebody's book. I don't want to hear somebody's opinion in their book. I want to hear the ancestors speak. And the way you get closer to the ancestors is to actually read what their words were. Well, you can get that when you go and pull up these actual treaties, the Constitution, when you pull up the Declaration of Independence, when you start reading those, that's when you get the real information. Sun Goddess, Halo, okay. ML, thank you for joining. Says, can you paraphrase? Tell me what you want me to paraphrase, Ray. Why Ray is telling me what he wants me to paraphrase. Uh, I will paraphrase that. Real Ray, thank you so much for the rose. And then Ray Infinity, please tell me what you want me to paraphrase for you. Keith, thank you for joining. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Lonbraj Moon, welcome. King says, okay, got it. All right, tonight we're talking about who's who, okay? And I want to make sure we understand who these melanated people are, all right? Because all skin folk ain't kin folk. That maybe that's what the title I should have called it. All skin folk ain't kin folk. We all have heard of that, and I need y'all to understand. Listen, I know some people gonna feel like, oh, that's separatism. We all gotta come together. You cannot come together on lies. Let me be clear on that. The problem is you don't understand the nature of the beings you're doing business with. You cannot come together on lies. And so if you just think, oh, we all the same color, so we all gonna be getting along together. No, that ain't how it works. Because you got to recognize that, again, all of this is spiritual. On a spiritual level, we still fighting. So back that up with the fact that some of us got more in us, some of us got Albion in us, we got the original people in us, we got some British in us. You got all these different entities in you. You got a fight going on within yourself. I'm not getting into that here. You got to come into the university to understand that. But what I am letting you know is on the outside of you, other people that may look like your same skin color, they gonna have a battle with you and they don't even recognize it. You bring somebody into your organization and you, oh, we the same color, so we want to all uplift, and they got a family, and I got a family, and we gonna build together, and y'all start doing all this stuff together, and the next thing you know, they start tearing you down. They don't even know why they're tearing you down. It's a spiritual thing. Y'all don't understand how powerful the spiritual aspect of this game is. It's real. So now the next thing you know, you got this guy who you thought was your skin color and he was your brother, but he's tearing down everything y'all have built. You don't even know why, because you didn't understand the nature of the being you're doing business with. Yeah, we got to start recognizing the spiritual side of this game. And so when we're understanding, I told you we mixed up with all these things on the inside of you, you fighting. They fighting too. This is why, everybody want to know what we need to do on the outside, who I need to fix. Fix you first, and then everybody else will come into order. All right. UNA beginner law book. I'm waiting on my friend to tell me what he wanted me to paraphrase. UNA beginner law book. You can get this link, find the link in the bio to get this UNA beginner law book. Okay. Now it comes with. Now, this is a powerful book. Now I'm telling you, This, if I'm going into court or if I'm dealing with any kind of court case, these laws, universal laws, hierarchy of law chart rather, the universal laws, the vibratory frequency chart, this might not go in, but these, and then also there's another set of laws, the maxims of law. These are known as God's laws. These are known as God's laws, all 200 and something of them. This I'm standing on these because you got to understand if you're going into court or doing any kind, and I don't say I don't recommend my people go into court, but if you have a court case that you're presenting, because we let our paperwork present for us, then you need to have some laws. Your God needs to go before you because they're going to respect it. Okay, so that's why these laws are very important. So the UNA beginner law book, go and find the link in the bio. Now, we had a lot of people who were asking questions about the membership package where you got the beginner. Uh, this is the membership package. And you see this, these are trust documents. They are sealed trust documents. Okay. And the importance about this is I call this my get out of jail free card. All right. This comes with a membership badge where you're going to be able to, once it gets scanned, recognized as a member of UNA. And please note that badge is very powerful because of the simple fact that this is the badge. I dropped the allodial ID on the site. I'm not trying to pick that up, but this is a membership badge. All right. This QR code is going to show that you're a standing member of UNA. And this deals with your corporation, your all capital letter name, that so-called straw man. This is what you present to your job when they try to come at you and force you into something concerning your vessel that you don't want to do. They have to back off because then if they fight, you got a lawsuit because they can't fire you because of your religion. And if your God said, I don't put mess into my body, then they got to respect that and back off. All right, that's how powerful that document is. It also comes with an allodial ID, and that allodial ID is going to show all of your documents that you have on record with UNA. All right. Did my friend, let me see, the switch up. Ray says the switch up. I don't know what switch up Ray talking about. But let me try to explain and see if I can. If this is not what you were talking about, Ray, let me know. By the way, you can find the link in the bio for the membership package for the UNA law book, and don't forget we've got the. I'm going to be in on the 24th. I'm going to be in Houston. No, I'm not going to be in Houston. I'm going to be in Chicago. All right. With the Fifth Dimensional Woman Tour. I'm going to be in Chicago on the 24th with the Fifth Dimensional Woman Tour. Once again, you're going to find that on the link tree. Find it on the link tree so that you can be there, even if you can't be there physically or live. Get the stream. It's going to be a great session. All right. So Chicago, we have New York. We also have Atlanta coming up. So if you want to be a part of those, find the link in the bio for the link tree. All right. Now, Ray said the switch up. I don't know what switch up Ray is talking about, but let me try to what did he ask me to do? He said, "Can you paraphrase?" Paraphrase means shrink it down. You want me to shrink it down, Ray? I'm trying to shrink it down as much as I can. All right. But just getting into this, what I think he's meaning about the switch up. Let's keep in mind that we had the elite Moors who were melanated people. I'm not necessarily talking about Moroccans who were flying that Moroccan flag. I'm really talking about these first set of, well, not they weren't the first set of Moors, but this set of Moors that came in and established what we know of today as the counties. Now, one of the things that they did, these elite Moors, is that these were dark-skinned people, and they actually enslaved the original people. Now, both of them were dark skinned. And again, I need y'all to understand when Moors came in, they slept with everything moving. If it was moving, they were sleeping with it. They telling you about the European that came in with Pocahontas and all that stuff, and they want you to think that that was an Albion. That's not what my research is showing. Okay? Especially when they say it was a European. Remember, the original Europeans were melanated. Okay, I need to get on this. And Ray, if I didn't paraphrase it enough for you, I need you to be more specific about what you want me to paraphrase. I need y'all to understand something. Columbus comes in here, and I'm talking about the hiding of history. Columbus comes in here, and Columbus is actually I keep saying Columbus. Let me make sure I say the right name because I messed him up. George Washington, the so-called first president. George Washington, they telling you is the first president, but I need y'all to understand he didn't come in until 1789. The United States of America was created in 1777. It was said to have been incorporated in 1777. If anybody has ever incorporated any kind of business, you know that before you incorporate, you better have a president, vice president, chair, secretary, all these other things in place. Otherwise, it's not going to be considered a true legal entity. So how you telling me that in 1777 George Washington or the United States of America was created? Then 13 years later, George Washington comes into play, and there wasn't any presidents between there. Let me tell y'all something. That's another lie. George Washington wasn't the first president. There were several presidents before him. They call it the Continental Congress. They don't want you to know about these presidents before him because this president that was a crony to Britain, this was the first